Hello, everybody, and welcome to Awesome Comics, your one-stop shop for everything comic book entertainment. I'm your host, Walter Bernasiak, and today we are reviewing Suicide Squad, the latest effort from Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment, and we have a great panel to talk about it today. Let's go with Mr. Doug Walker first. Doug, how's it going?
It's going good, man. I got some purple soda on ice and a bearskin rug all ready to go.
Oh, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Miss Beth Ellerkin, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just staying busy. Saw this yesterday, and I'm still processing it. So I'll have some things to declare.
Okay.
Well, I do declare.
I do declare. It's Miss Aiyanna Way.
Hiya, Puddins.
Very nice cosplay,
Oh,
looking
thank you.
good.
Just casually.
She always comes in with this, and she has to change into something else. That's what you don't know at home, but she always comes in like this all the time.
Oh yeah. So when I look normal in the episodes, I've already come in as something and then just put on a t-shirt over it.
Gotta cover
it's
up
scary.
Gotta cover up that tattoo.
To cover up my
with makeup.
tattoo.
Yeah. You know how it is. Okay, I want to make sure to remind you guys, always like the Facebook page. If you haven't done that yet, that's facebook.com/awesomecomicshow. We have a ton of videos that go up there. Every Thursday we have an exclusive Facebook video. Last week we had an extended discussion on The Killing Joke because we couldn't fit in everything we want to talk about in just the one video here. Too much to say. So we have a ton of stuff up on that Facebook page. Go ahead and like that. Okay, let's get into Suicide Squad. Let's go positives first. So it has a 26% as of this recording on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's lower now?
It was 26 as of when I checked it last.
Lower,
It was
man.
like 29 yesterday.
Yeah, it's last time I checked it was 26. Maybe it went back up or down, but as of this recording, that's when I checked it was 26. So the critics aren't really liking it that much.
No, they're killing it, man. They are killing it.
They are. But let's talk about the things we liked about it first. Aiyanna, what were some of the things you liked most?
Casting. I
Yes.
thought the casting was spot on. The actors showed up, they did their job, did it well.
That is something you have to ask from a cast. Can you show up and do your job?
Did
yes.
you see
You are
X-Men?
great. Okay, fair enough.
Yes, apparently that is something you have to ask your actors to do. Okay. So thank you. I think favorite, why I might be skipping ahead of discussion, but like Harley just knocked it out of the park for me. It was so well done. The relationship between Harley and Joker was perfection. They nailed it. Nailed it for me. Also, Viola Davis, queen of everything in my book now and forever.
She was intimidating.
She
She was great.
perfect, Amanda Waller.
Yeah, she was scary.
Perfect. It was like I want to root for you because you're like on the good side. Oh, you just slaughtered a room full of people. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Never mind. I won't mess with you.
Who's the real villain?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think casting overall for all the characters was just really spot on.
I got you. Some of your favorite parts, things you liked, Doug?
This whole movie, the best way I can explain it is like, you know how people watch Moulin Rouge and you're like, the story's so stupid and it's cliched and everything's so forced and it goes nowhere and it's so lame and stuff like that, and everybody's like, but it's cool. I know, but it's cool. That's this movie for me. This is my Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God, you hurt my feelings so much.
No. I get why people like it.
My heart is in pain.
No, I get why people like that because I really like this movie for the exact same reasons. It is just so cool and it is so awesome and the casting is great and a lot of the visuals are great. It just has this style throughout most of it that I adore. But it is so freaking stupid and makes no sense. A lot of it doesn't go anywhere. And I think like the first 40 minutes is like pure awesome. Like this is just like, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I love this movie. And then as soon as the mission stuff starts, it kind of gets less awesome and it becomes more standard, like just kind of a typical action movie. Even down to at the very end, there's like somebody comes back, it's very obvious who it is. But even, it's like, that's what they end the movie on. It's just like, yeah, we're just gonna do it because, we're just doing it, bye. Where it started off so strong and so kick-ass. But I'm with you, I think the cast is so good and the characters are so much fun.
Yeah.
And they pull me through it, even through kind of the duller moments and the moments that don't work. I want to know what happens to these people. And I think they're just so charming and they're just so much fun to watch. And I think when it works, it is just so much damn fun. And I think for me, I understand if anyone doesn't like it, like people are going to bring up stuff that doesn't work. 100% agree, 100% I can't defend it, but the awesome stuff was too awesome for me to say I didn't have a fun time.
Right. Okay. Beth.
Agree. Casting was great. Margot Robbie just did such a great job. I wanted her to have more lines. Like I wanted to hear, because it was just short clips, like tiny little lines, and I was like, I want a monologue from you. We didn't really get a monologue, and I wanted that. Will Smith doing his Will Smith thing. It was good. You could tell he was having a good time and that he liked what he was doing. I also really enjoyed the backstories. Sometimes the presentation was a little bit too chaotic. It felt a lot like it was pieced together, a lot of editing. Like it felt like maybe they were spruced throughout the movie instead of all thrown together at the beginning like they did that in post. But they were still fun backstories, and we got a taste of each of the characters, and we got a good sampling of what they were going to bring to the table as part of the Suicide Squad. So those were my positives.
Okay. Positives for me, I mean, I liked it more than I disliked it. I didn't love it or anything, but I definitely think I came out of this liking it more than I did Batman vs. Superman. There's more to like in this movie, I think.
It's more fun.
Yeah, obviously more fun with the villains and everything and mixing up the groups and everything. But yeah, this just, I mean, it felt more like a movie. It felt more like there was stuff happening. There were beats that happen in movies that happen in this that were not in Batman vs. Superman. That was dull the entire time, for the most part. I really did like Will Smith as Deadshot.
Yeah.
The thing with his daughter has been well established in the comics and stuff, so that's pretty cool to have that thing that grounds him, that humanizes him. And I thought he played it pretty well. I mean, he was a little more over the top, goofy Will Smith in some parts, but I like goofy Will Smith.
Isn't it nice to have him back? I feel like we got Will Smith back.
I felt like we had
Will
like
Smith.
Fresh
I
Prince
said
of
like
Gotham.
Wild West Will Smith with the just go up there, grab her booty, and she'll be fine. Just calm her down. Like it was like old school Will for me, and I actually really liked it.
And he can pull off the dramatic stuff. Well, I mean, we already
yeah.
know he can, but he
Right.
does it here, and he really balances it out very well,
Right.
I thought.
I agree. And Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, so cool. It's just so cool to see
perfect.
a live action version of
It
Harley
is.
Quinn. Can we all agree on that?
I
Just finally,
didn't really
finally.
think about it until like I saw her on screen, and I'm like, wow, we finally got a movie. It just took me back to like this spin-off character that was just like a henchwoman instead of a henchman,
Right.
a Joker, or whatever. And then she just exploded into this like one of the best DC characters, and now we finally got a movie where she's pretty much the star of it. I just think that's so cool. Seeing the evolution of that.
I like how they handled her origin actually in this personally.
Yeah, I remember you were concerned. You
I
and
was.
Heather were concerned about like it was more aligned with the New 52 version, which is like Joker forces this on her sort of, and
Yeah.
this is more her choice.
Right. I liked it. It kind of like
It's half and half.
Yeah,
Because
she
they
was
had the
forced down
electroshock.
on the table. Like she was
Right.
being held down.
Yeah, that was definitely
yeah.
electroshock,
But
but
she
it's-
was like, just
But by
go
then she
ahead.
was calling him Mr. J, so
Yeah.
she was already transitioning into that.
Right.
The one thing I wish they kept out, I don't know how much this is in the other origins or anything, but when I saw the cartoon and they went to the origin, they clearly show she was analyzing him to make a quick buck, to sell a book. It was kind of a selfish means, and I like that. I like that she was already a little bad, a little corrupted, so you can see how he would get inside her mind and sort of
Right.
corrupt her even more. I wish like that could just been a line. They could have gotten that in there real fast,
Right.
but no, I dug it. I thought she was super good.
I would have loved to see. I mean, I would still love to see just a movie just about her origin and everything. I want a Harley Quinn movie. Man.
Well, I think a lot of people were worried about how they were going to handle Harley and if they were really going to get her complexities right. And I think that they made a really great start of like wanting to see more type
I
of
agree.
stuff. Like
Totally agree.
I was a little wary of what was going to happen, but very happy.
One of the best scenes in the whole movie, I think, is when she jumps in the vat of these chemicals. One of the best scenes in the movie, if not the best scene,
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, like just her just going back and then Joker going to walk away and screw that person, but then he did
he's
little
like, "Oh,
his
I
only
can't."
weakness.
Yeah.
And then he goes back in after.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Well, and that's something interesting. Again, I don't know if this dives much into the comics, but I remember in the cartoon, it was like she was always a means to an end, just like, oh, if I get wherever I can find another one. I like in this one that there is kind of a connection. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
actually legitimately wants her back because he misses her. It isn't just a pawn thing, and I don't know, all the Jokers I've seen, I haven't seen that yet with him. Maybe they do it somewhere, but I haven't seen that yet. And I found that fascinating. I
It
found
was
it really
definitely
intriguing.
stronger.
Yeah.
The Sid and Nancy relationship.
Yeah, a little
of,
bit, like,
unhealthily, I need you.
Yeah, and you can tell, like, he isn't just, oh, I need her to make this plan work, or the joke will be funnier with her. It's like he really wants her back, and I found that so fascinating. I didn't really see that yet in the Joker. Maybe they've done it, but I haven't seen it yet, at least cinematically or in an anime.
What it really reminds me of, and you might, because I don't know if you've seen the show, but it's like Spike and Drusilla from second season of Buffy. Because they both have their own individual things that they're doing, but they also depend a lot on each other.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not necessarily a true love, but
Right.
it's love in their own way.
Right.
Right.
It's that evil sort of love
Exactly.
where only sociopaths can.
They're feeding into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also love the Deadshot origin, or not origin, but how he got captured by Batman, that whole thing, and it looks good with the snow. I know it sucks to shoot in cold weather and snow, but it always looks great. on camera.
Especially
God,
with
it looks great.
superheroes and Batman.
Right,
Shadows
and Gotham.
stuff.
Oh, perfect.
And man, Batfleck is still rocking it.
And he
Oh
just
my
shows up.
God.
I was like, that's so cool. But I almost love him as a character. I think the idea of him as a background character who just shows up once in a while is a
Yeah,
great
it's
idea
better,
for something.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
love it.
When he's talking to the daughter's there stopping him from shooting, he's just standing there. I'm just like, that's Batman. That's not an actor playing Batman. That's Batman. That's like the first time I felt that since Keaton, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't say Conrad, I should say, but it's like, that's chills. I love it when I can say, I'm looking at Batman right now, man.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Yeah,
cool.
I admit, I was one of those people early on. I was like, Ben Affleck can't do Batman. I mean, I told you
I
that.
was
that,
right
yeah.
there with you,
You know
man.
what? Call me wrong. I've been proven wrong. I will lay that on the table.
Who would have thought? I mean,
I
just
know.
so good.
Really
So perfect
good.
for it. I can't wait to see I want to see a solo Batman movie with Joker and him, and I want it so bad.
With a little bit of hot, I throw
With
in
Harley in
Harley.
it, yeah.
Thank you.
I want it all. It's going to be so good. I can't wait for that. And because I know he's directing it, and Jeff Johns is co-writing it with him and stuff. It's got to be good, right? It's got to be.
Didn't we say that about Suicide
We
Squad?
said that,
Yeah,
What was-
didn't we?
I know
Killing
we
Joke,
said
we said that.
this. We said that with Killing Joke too.
Yeah.
I think we've
So-
said that for about every DC
You
movie.
guys, I just want it this summer.
But
You
you've
know
given
what?
me
You know
enough
what?
hope.
That's it. Just skip the summer. Let's go get to Wonder Woman. That's gonna be
Yeah.
good. We know it's gotta be good. Gotta be good. Come
Yeah,
on.
just in
Gotta be good.
general,
Gotta be
let's
good.
Right?
be
Right?
done with
Right?
this.
Oh my
It's
God.
cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's got to be good.
I don't know. I just feel like DC has a trailer curse. They have great trailers, and I'm more worried about Wonder Woman now. Now that I've seen Suicide
That-
Squad.
that's
That's a
a
little
great trailer.
concerning.
I don't think anyone was like.
I'm trying.
super
Curse
hyped.
it.
This is all right. This is what.
so hard.
Yeah, okay, best analogy I could say for this is that it started off really strong. Well, think of like a football player running for the goal line for a touchdown, right? And he's running and he's got the ball, he's sturdy at the beginning, he gets hit a couple times and he's getting a little woozy, almost getting knocked down. He starts fumbling the ball, but still crosses the touchdown line with the ball in his hand. That's like the best analogy I
That's
can
good.
come up with.
As it goes on, it does get less and less.
It falls
awesome.
apart a little bit.
It just holds together like just enough for me,
Yeah.
but I'm like, you almost lost me, movie. You were like this close. That's like,
I
yeah.
kind
got-
of
it
had
lost me,
problems
I'm
from the
sorry.
Yeah, I get it.
beginning.
It lost me.
There were some issues I had just right from the start.
Yeah,
All right,
me
let's
too.
go into negatives.
Okay.
Aiyanna, negative
Well,
things.
like right away, we'll just talk about like the two different sets of flashbacks that we get right off the bat.
Yep.
We get like Will Smith and Margot Robbie right at the beginning in like jail, but also then we get everyone's origin with the whole like montage sequence. And I don't understand why we got two openings to a film.
And the editing,
away.
the editing throughout was just bad.
Choppy.
We like anything
So
with the
bad.
Joker at the beginning. Did we get a full scene with him in it, like at all? Like, did we get a full scene with the Joker?
It was all
Define
snippets.
full scene. I
Well,
mean,
Yeah,
like,
wait.
did he get more than a couple lines at a time until we got like
No.
pink?
didn't
And
really
then
get
I
a lot
was
of back and
very, very confused every time the Joker came on screen because
There were literally jump cuts because
It
the edits were so
was
bad.
so
Yeah.
They were
jumpy.
actual jump cuts.
There were things that didn't make sense too, like little lines here and there that they're
Yeah.
referencing things. I was like, what are you talking about?
right.
There's a lot of stuff where it's like, you know, Jared Leto must have had like a huger part for this because he's only in the movie like 10 minutes and he still has second billing. He's all throughout the trailers.
They say he only had an additional 10 minutes that was cut.
That's
so-
still double the time that he
That's
had.
still a lot
Yeah,
of
that's still
plot.
20
20
minutes in a movie that has a bajillion characters.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that 10 minutes, I mean, he does it fine, but you know, he's just kind of doing like, shows up, acts a little crazy, shoots a gun, and it's like, it's fine, but it's like for, you know, all the bullshit he was talking about. It's like he proudly said, "I mailed dead rats and used condoms." It's like, what a fucking asshole! This is all we get for all that bullshit that he was going. Like any actor could have done this without doing that nonsense.
Viola Davis did it. Just saying. She showed up and did her part and was still just as dark as she needed to be, still just as menacing, still had like complex.
Tons of actors you could have gotten to do this without having to do that method actor crap.
Yeah.
You know, and you know he didn't need to do any of this.
Right.
Yeah, I felt for what we got, for what they gave us, I was like, that doesn't seem, you know. I mean, none of it is worth all that crap. You just get a good actor who can act.
Right.
But, you know, it still doesn't seem like, you know, wow, you were doing that just for this? So I'm curious what that edited out 10 minutes was. You know, and maybe we'll do a longer version.
They said it was too dark.
But for the Joker, I'll take it. Everyone else I understand, but for the Joker, it's like, I like when they kind of push the envelope a little bit. And this looked like a different Joker. I wanted to see what this different Joker was going to do with the dark stuff. Yeah. So, and I kind of acknowledge, like, okay, this isn't my Joker, but it's like, I bought it okay. He was intimidating. I wanted to see what they were going to do with the darker stuff with this Joker. You know, Joker always does, it's like saying, well, Batman's, he was getting too dark. He's always dark, but I want to see how Keaton does the dark. I want to see how Conroy does the dark. I want to see how Affleck does the dark. I want to see how this Joker did that dark stuff.
I gotta be perfectly honest. I liked the idea of this Joker portrayal. Like, I'm fine with like a Sid Vicious kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could not stand Jared Leto as the Joker. I couldn't do it. I don't want to see him in any more Batman things. I'm sorry, and I'm probably the only person here, and I'm probably the only person amongst all the commenters. Everyone's going to be like, no, you're wrong. He grated me every time he was on scene. And you know, that might partially be because of the cuts. But I also partially think that it wasn't, I've mentioned this before, it wasn't Jared Leto playing the Joker. It was Jared Leto playing the Joker. He was clear, his ego was just consuming him in every scene. Every
could
scene,
feel it.
you can tell he's thinking, I'm freaking nailing this.
There's just a mirror off camera of like, yeah, this is good work I'm doing right now.
There's definitely that mugging. There's a lot of, and that's where you know when like, I shouldn't talk this way, but I mean, you do feel like an actor is really kind of got an ego thing where he's just gonna look at you. Yeah, my dad, aren't I doing good? I'm just gonna let you take in my performance. Yeah. I mean, for this, maybe because of the editing, like I felt it worked enough. I thought it worked fine, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't know what you were talking about with that. Because you're right, you do feel, if he's gonna do that bullshit, we hear these stories anyway, it's like, okay, it's one of these. But, you know, since the Joker's already kind of crazy, it's like, for me, worked just enough. But I know you're saying with like the voice and the metal teeth, and again, just kind of the dead eyes always looking at you and stuff, like, be afraid of me.
I'd almost say it kind of works for the Joker, but I do understand how it could get overbearing and that any more like
it just felt like what he was like, well, Jack Nicholson had his portrayal, Heath Ledger had his portrayal. What if I combined both of them together? Also, I'm Jared Leto. Like,
okay. Also, I'm Jared Leto.
I'm cool. And his laugh.
I'm cool. Come on, guys. I'm like Joker laughing.
That laugh needed to be much more sparing. It was in every scene he was in.
The sheep says bah. The Joker says
Even the thing spinning.
Right.
That's what I picture.
From the beginning, I never liked this Joker's design, and kind of my fears were realized with this because they made him just this gangster Joker, like this modern leader of, you know, like a modern gang sort of kind of thing. And he's just, you know, he's in the back of clubs and stuff, and he's got all these rings on and stuff. I'm like,
You know what? I will say I didn't like the design at first. Didn't like his design. Didn't like Enchantress's design. But they edited so much of it out, covered it in fog and rain, and I barely had to see it, and I was fine.
You didn't see the belly dancing going on the entire time?
Yeah, that was a little
I
weird.
saw it. I just
The entire time was just her moving.
Can we
like
talk
this.
about Enchantress?
Sure, we'll move on to Enchantress.
Move on to Enchantress.
For the record, don't really like the Joker that much. Enchantress. Enchantress, yes. She's the villain. Spoiler.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Spoilers, by the way, although it wasn't really spoilers.
we saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
She wasn't with anyone.
I didn't
it
expect
was,
it, but-
I did, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was there? Like,
I don't know what
she
to
could have been replaced by a gyrating broom, and we wouldn't have lost anything. Like, Cara Delevingne, she's a very beautiful woman. You know, she looked great, But she had like this dead-eye stare of a model. Like she had the model dead-eye stare walking down the runway. I didn't feel like she like brought anything, and I didn't feel like her character had any motivation. I'm going to build a weapon because men like machines.
Yeah,
But
she was
my
like, so I'm
weapon
gonna build a
doesn't fight
machine.
machines.
We never found out what the weapon was.
So we're gonna build a machine.
Just another portal in the sky. This is like the 5th one we've seen this year,
Right.
which is just so done.
I think that's where it begins to fall apart is when we find out Enchantress is going to be the villain. Like she
Yeah,
wakes
I
up her
agree.
brother and everything. And like that's where it sort of starts to veer the other way. I was like,
Well-
no. They should be like breaking out a POW from Russia or something. That's what
Yeah.
they should be doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I love how their entire, more spoilers by the way, I love how their entire mission is, hey, fix our mistake. Hey, we screwed up, we forgot that June can talk in her sleep, and now
Yeah.
I'm trapped, so come save me.
The whole, I mean, I'll defend the actress a little bit. I actually thought when she was looking kind of tortured and, you know, not knowing what to be, and when that great
That
transition.
transition
was one of the great
was
transitions ever. But I think her
beautiful.
performance, I mean, I felt like that was two different people. I really felt like, you know, when she didn't know what she was going to be or turn into something, I thought she did okay. When she had to be kind of the dead-eyed whatever, I thought she was nice and creepy and intimidating. But again, when she's becoming the villain and then all the makeup goes away, she's doing the belly dancing with the Portal of Doom or whatever and stuff. I'm like, you used to be cool. Like, you used to be scary. What happened to you? You know, and it's something about that.
The voice too.
Yeah, and the voice, just everything kind of changed around that point. And I felt if we just kind of stuck to that dark, in the shadows kind of thing, you know, and then just the Jekyll and Hyde, like the person that's afraid to turn into Hyde, I thought that would have been fun. It would have been fun if she was with the team.
Yeah.
Doing that, going through, trying to keep that under control, you know. But then you had the pyro guy. It's like, well, I guess he's that.
Diablo,
so you know,
yeah.
we gotta make one of them the villain.
I
Actually,
liked
would have
him
been
a
a greater
lot.
twist if he was the villain. Honestly, I wouldn't have seen that coming.
What I wanted to see was, because the Enchantress, I'm actually okay with her becoming the villain, but I think it should have happened much later, like in the last third as opposed to the first third.
They really spring it on.
Yeah.
They did.
What I would have loved to see is for her boyfriend to become her companion, her evil companion.
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag.
I thought
Mostly
they-
because
they
I wanted
couldn't-
Rick Flag to go away.
Well, they
Well, there was
couldn't
the
do
whole
it with
bomb
Rick
thing.
Flag. but-
I thought I was okay. I like had to like think about the whole bomb scene where they were underground or whatever. I was so confused why they showed us that twice. I was like, oh, is there more
Yeah.
to it? Was he
No.
like, did he let her go? Oh, is
When
he
they
like
flash
in on
back
it?
to it?
I
Yeah.
was so
Like,
I thought I missed something. I was like, well, there must have been a reason why
No.
they showed us this
He's
twice.
just like, I left a bomb down there.
And so I was like,
good.
wait, but there was 1 second left. Did he? Wait, what did
Hell
I
with you.
miss?
I'm having a drink. I can blow you up. I'm having a drink. And it's
She
like,
ran away.
because
She
I
ran-
found out you left a bomb down there. It's like, wait. Or I found out that, you know, you're in love with her. Something that really doesn't warrant me risking my life to have a drink. Like, I didn't get that either. Like, a lot of the motivations were really getting meshed. And suddenly, like, that katana lady, that was really cool. I was like, who are you?
But
oh,
she
you're
just
awesome.
shows
I'm-
up,
No,
though.
like, she shows up. I'm like, who are you? You're immediately awesome. I like you. But then it's like, you know, she's talking to the sword, crying. I'm like, where'd this come from? And it's just like, oh, her husband's in the sword. Okay.
She was really shoehorned in, I think, Katana, to me. I mean, she just shows up on the carrier or whatever, on the
Literally,
plane. I'm
yeah.
like, wait,
She's
what?
like, hey guys.
What, she's in the Suicide Squad, but she's not a bad guy? Wait, what's going on?
Yeah, no,
She's
but,
like an
but,
agent
but
for
she
Rick
still
Flag?
got a drink with him. It's like, honor among thieves. I'm not a thief. Then what are you doing there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that was kind of dickish. It's like, why did you go with them if you don't like them?
Very strange.
I guess she's an alcoholic.
She doesn't have a bomb in her neck or whatever,
No,
right?
she doesn't
No.
because she's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But why was she there, though? That's what I'm not, I don't
I
get.
guess to help Rick Flag, but they all, if they didn't help him,
I'm
they would
thinking
have
it's
been
so
killed.
they could have more women on the team.
That's
They
gotta
didn't
be
I
have
mean, I
any-
like Katana,
yeah.
so I was happy,
Yeah.
like,
That's cool.
seeing her, but we barely did.
Well, and let's be honest, everything with the story and the motivations and the logic makes no sense. Even from the beginning, it's like, okay, you got Croc, he's super strong. You got, you know, this guy that can create fire. Okay, that made all these superhumans. You got this crazy Harley woman. Why? You know, it's like, why have her? It's like, you know, half the people that they bring on, it's like, what makes them especially super-ish? You know, this person can turn into a witch and disappear and do anything,
Right.
and then there's just, this woman has a hammer. You
think
know,
it's-
it's like that. There's a couple of them where I'm like, or the Australian guy, he's like, he's got a boomerang.
Captain Boomerang.
What?
I think
take
it's
the
just
boomerang.
because they're expendable. I think that's like what they're trying to say is just because they can die, no one would miss them, and they have some skills, Just send those guys out
But
together.
why? But if their mission is to go rescue her, why would she want people who can die? I feel like instead of having it be like a supernatural enemy, because supernatural stuff, why not put them in the middle of a war zone?
That's what I totally. It should have been a smaller, self-contained story.
Essentially like the
Squad shouldn't save the
Expendables,
world.
but some of them have superpowers.
But better, hopefully, than the Expendables, at least 2 and 3. Sorry.
I was gonna say, first one's amazing. You shut your mouth.
I like the first one. 2 and 3, no.
And does anyone else feel like it was essentially like 3 different movies? Like
Yes.
put into one?
It is
Like,
all
really
hodgepodge
felt
together.
that
What
way.
the what do you even call the alien things or what? Not aliens, but
Oh, the blob people.
what do they call? What do you call them?
I call them bubble ash monsters.
We'll go with that. The bubble ash monsters.
No, bubble ash
Who
zombies.
aren't
sorry.
humans
Bubble ass
anymore.
zombies.
They're not humans anymore, so it's fine that we decapitate and slaughter
Yeah,
all
chop
of
them up
them.
and
It's
everything.
cool. It's cool. They've already been turned into
totally
monsters.
fine.
But that's okay, because Davis later shoots all these FBI agents. Like,
Yes.
you had to say they weren't human anymore. They're bad guys already. And Viola Davis is just like, bam, 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 They knew stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
they didn't have
that's
clearance.
totally
What?
Waller.
Yeah,
she
was
thought
like,
that
what?
Waller.
I would have liked to see more of that. I wanted
Yeah.
to see more of the bad guys just having fun.
Just being bad guys.
Bad guys.
That's when
We
it's the
didn't get
best.
bad
So
guys.
little
Right.
interaction.
It should have been. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole supernatural thing never made any sense.
Yeah.
It should have been a self-contained little thing, like saving a POW or something where American forces can't go in there. And
Yeah.
so they send these guys in. Like it would have been perfect. The
Because
self-contained
they
little
work
thing.
outside
but
the
they
law.
gotta save the
You
world.
have to use the fact that they work outside the law
Exactly.
to your advantage.
So why didn't like Wonder Woman or something show
Right.
up to try and stop the
Yeah, where-
laser sky?
where
thing
was Batman?
again? Where's Batman was just trying to
He's in
recruit
an alley.
Flash or something.
He's having dinner with Viola, saying, hey, we're still doing Justice League.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
I like how he turned around, was like, shut it down. And he leaves. I'm like, all right.
So no, I think it's very clear. Anyone going into it, people that love it or hate it can agree, there is no logic to the movie whatsoever. And if you're going for logic, if you're going for reason, if you're going for a good story, abandon all hope. You went to here. You're not going to get it
Right.
here.
It tricks you at the beginning, I think, a
Yeah.
little bit.
It does.
No,
Yeah.
but
And then it falls off.
Even then, I mean, I think you can tell the way that's edited together, because the first maybe 20 minutes is nothing but backstory, and that is really sloppy.
Wait, there's more
But-
more than just backstory.
But it was
There's like
interesting backstory.
30 songs smashed
Oh, yeah,
into
can we
like
talk about
9
that?
minutes.
And then
The
the
songs real
songs
quick.
never come
then
back.
never
And we
again.
get the dramatic dun 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 dun, dun, fighting the villain.
Yeah, there is something of that first 40 minutes I think is the strongest, and I was
Yeah.
just like, what are the critics talking about? Okay, this is stupid, but it's amazing. And then, like I said, when the mission starts, that's when it starts. It's like, okay, now we're just every other action film.
Right.
But these people are cool, so it's like, okay, it's like I'll go with it. But yeah, I think that's sort of the main thing to take out of it is anyone looking for any kind of, it's the DC movie logic, which makes no sense, and it's totally insane. But I think the people are cool and the style is cool. For the most part, how much of that can drag you through it, I think that's going to be up to people that see it. Some people are going to be like, for me, it dragged me through just enough. Other people are going to be like, no, this is, as soon as I go to
Terrible.
the mission, it sucks. I can't do it. And I totally get that if somebody says
Right.
that, because it is stupid. But yeah, I think that's going to vary for different people, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't think it's not great. I mean, it's barely good, but I think that it's still, like you said, it pulled me along just enough where I enjoyed it more than I, could see its flaws.
It hit just the right,
Yeah.
just enough notes
Just
for me
enough.
to be like, okay, I'm glad I saw this. Like, this was cool. I had fun.
Right.
But I think for other people, it's going to be like, nah, you missed it for me. Like, I needed more of that story. I need more of the characters making sense.
See,
kind of
if the
stuff.
first 40 minutes had been reflected through the rest of the movie, that's exactly how I would feel. It's not my kind of movie, but I can respect it. I can understand it. The last third for me is where it completely fell apart.
Yeah.
One, all the goddamn rain. Zack Snyder rain. I'm sick of his rain. Why is everything raining all the time?
He just told David Ayer to put a bunch of
Two,
rain.
for no reason, all the bad guys go from just being bad guys to being a family. We're friends.
Yeah,
we
kind
stand
of.
up for each other.
I think that was cut. Like a lot of that team building stuff was probably cut out. you
Yeah,
know?
but they should have kept that was necessary.
I agree,
There was
I
no
agree.
motivation for them to become a family at the end, to die for each other and fight for each other. None of it was explained. None of it was justified. And to me, it didn't actually serve the characters. That's not something that these characters would do. They would just be like, okay, we're cool. And that would be the length of it. They would be like, oh, and all the slow-mo.
The slow-mo at the end, I mean,
The action at the end was not good.
Gone.
I was like, that didn't seem worthy of the slow-mo.
it was kind of cool with Enchantress making Will Smith's daughter appear in front of them. Like, because at first I was like, why is she talking like, she's like, you can't do this, otherwise we'll never be together, Daddy. I was like, but she wouldn't. Oh, like, it's Enchantress putting the little thing of. Okay, I was so like.
Well, you thought the daughter actually just ran up there and said, "Dad,
No,
stop!"
I thought it was in his head. But no, it was Enchantress.
almost like a
okay.
memory.
Is that
Yeah.
power from the
Right.
comics, or do you think it was something they established earlier and cut out? Because all of a sudden, she's giving them fantasies of what life was like, and I never got any indication she could do that.
I thought she could just do anything.
Yeah, I think
honestly.
she just does magical stuff.
just stuff.
She just does stuff.
It's just magic.
Just magic.
by
That's
the
always the
way-
explanation.
Magic and weapons.
I wanted to say this one thing about the Joker. In Harley's fantasy sequence, you just see Jared Leto.
I was fine.
Why though? Why?
Because that's her. I actually like
I
when
love
they
that.
use that as like a storytelling tool of
No.
like such simple things that people want in their life hold like so much power for them. Very simple things like just wanting normalcy in kids and like a home.
I'm okay
I
with
like it. We
the
barely
sequence
see
itself.
him.
The
We
sequence itself,
barely
but
see
showing him was stupid. I get in Dark Knight they show Heath Ledger without the makeup for like a quick second, but he still has the scars, and that was for a point. He was like in disguise. In Batman '89, they show the fake skin-colored makeup over the Joker.
Yeah.
That's for something in the story. This is just like all that mystique around him. No, he's just Jared Leto.
But
Like,
that's her imagination.
Yeah,
it's
see,
not
that's
showing
right.
him in
I hate
reality.
it. Should
doing that.
have just showed like the back of his head or something.
But it did.
But it
and
was
But then they
barely
showed his
side,
face.
like barely.
I
like
still
that
showed him. I still
barely
saw
a
Jared Leto.
profile.
I still saw that
If
face.
they
Like a
had
different
distorted it a little bit, maybe giving him like green streaks in his
They gave
hair.
him his
Something.
weird teeth. They gave him like the
Was his
like
teeth in there?
yeah. They were like
Were his teeth in there?
Yeah.
I didn't notice
I'm,
that.
I'm okay with that.
See,
didn't
I
see
liked
that.
it because, well, I love that her fantasy is still an insane fantasy. Of course,
I'm
that
down
would
with the
never happen.
fantasy. The
And she's got
fantasy's
the
fine.
curlers in her hair, and I
Right.
mean, it's the total cliche.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that she wanted him also to not be the clown, I found that very fascinating. I was just like,
But that's
huh.
I thought what she was attracted to, so that didn't really make any sense for me either.
But
Like,
I
she's,
guess,
like,
I guess
half
to
attracted
me,
is crazy.
I guess I kind of saw that. I'm like, like that's what she wants. That's really fascinating. Like it drew me in more to her. Like, why would you? Because I would think that too. She would want the clown, but he wasn't the clown in that. So I don't know. I thought that gave another interesting layer to her that I never thought about.
Right. I just think if he's going to be in more movies, if Joker's going to be in all these DC movies going forward, then you need to keep a mystique around him. Don't show Jared Leto. We know it's Jared Leto already, but don't show
It's
his
a
face,
dream
man.
sequence.
I know it's a dream
It's
sequence,
not even his
but
dream
you saw
sequence,
his
it's
face,
hers.
so it's not his face. It's not his face.
It's what she thinks
it's
his
what
face
she-
looks
She
like.
thinks his face, so she
In-
thinks
in
he looks
a,
like Jared Leto. Okay.
It's like the dumbest thing to analyze.
Yeah.
I'm
I can't believe
analyzing
we're
it.
getting this upset
There are
about this.
so many other things.
That's just something
If we're gonna
that
start on that,
bothers
this is
me.
gonna last a really
I
long
know.
time.
I know. I won't stand.
I'm
too
being
much
very general right now.
Yeah, but that's just one of the things that irked me. Okay, favorite characters. Let's talk about that. We mentioned Harley and stuff. I really liked El Diablo. I liked
Yeah, he was
his
cool.
story arc was cool. I still don't get the whole he turning into a giant fire monster at the end. I mean, I don't know that much of his
Where'd
origin.
that come from?
Right, I didn't know
They
much
didn't
of his
explain
origin
much
from the character.
origin
Yeah,
like of powers or anything like that for
No.
anyone in this movie.
Right, I didn't know too much about him from the comics or whatever, so that's my ignorance. Sorry.
It was
But-
funny that he had that speech in that bar, and you're like, oh, he's gonna die. Anytime anyone gets a speech in a bar, they're gonna
They're
die.
gonna die.
True that. It was a good monologue. It was
was a
well
good-
delivered. I think he
yeah.
did a good job with it. But I feel like a lot of the lines that actors were given in this were like kind of meh lines, and they were like, "It's cool, I got this. I'll carry the second half of this journey and make them good for you." You know. And that was like kind of one of those where like it was an okay, but he made it really good.
And just a quick note on that, I do feel like they used almost all of the best jokes in the trailers. So when they came up, we
all
knew they
saw
were
it
coming,
coming,
and
yeah.
the setup for them was terrible. Like the best one, in my opinion, was when she breaks the glass and she pulls out the purse. There was no setup for that. It literally cuts to that very moment from a completely
Yeah,
different
if
scene.
they were walking or saying, then she did it.
Yeah, like-
they just boom, break the glass.
that
yeah.
needed a good setup. That needed a setup, and I think that was cut
Yeah,
out.
that needed her talking with them, or even like them talking, and then she just suddenly does it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, but you're right, cutting to that, you're right. That kind of ruined the joke a little bit.
Yeah, like I felt like I was just like, I actually didn't. I don't think I ever laughed once.
I liked it once or
I
twice.
a couple
chuckled a bit.
Yeah, but I'll admit, they say that they went back to add in more comedy, and I was just like, what was in this before? Because, like, the comedy, like you say, is already in the trailer, and they added the comedy after the trailer came
They
out.
have denied that.
Okay,
They
never mind.
said they
never
added
mind.
more action, but David Ayer said also this was his original edit. So I don't really believe him right now. So I think it's take it as you will.
Right.
Okay.
Any last thoughts we can have here about Suicide Squad?
If you're going in for logic or a story that makes sense, you're not gonna get. If you're going in for badass people doing badass things, you'll get it. How long will it sustain you? I think that's gonna be different for every person, but you will get it. I don't think it's worth quite the hate that it's getting. But I totally understand somebody's like, yeah, no, this is stupid, this is dumb, but whatever, 26%, that's being way too harsh in my opinion. But yeah, I think people that saw the trailer, the Bohemian Rhapsody, just want to see some badass people doing some cool stuff. Like I said, you'll definitely get it. It'll be different from everyone how long it'll sustain you.
Right.
It sustained me just enough to say I'm glad I saw it.
Okay.
I'd say it's like way more middle of the road than like it's getting in its reviews. I would say.
Yeah,
it's
I think it is
really.
good.
I would say I liked it more than I disliked it. I just had a lot of problems with it. But if you're going into it for a well-edited, like Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracky type of thing that you were getting in that trailer, it's not that at all. Like at all. And there were times when you felt like they thought they were like really getting it right. And those were the times that they really were not getting it right. So
I say the first 40 minutes. I say the first 40 minutes really was like just the pure trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm down for this. I'm on board with this. And then somewhere that style went away, and it just sort of became a dull action film, with some people that I like. And I wish that style was all throughout the whole thing, because I think this would have been like really, the whole thing would have been a lot of fun if they had that in.
they tried to jam pack so many songs into such little time. It was like what Eminem's Two Trailer Park Girls Go Round the Outside. And I was like, oh, please stop. Just please cut out with
That
all
was the one I
songs.
liked though. Really? You did? When that showed up, I was like,
No.
yeah. Like, the song is stupid as hell, but I thought it fit really well. I was just gonna say, I really wanted to like this movie.
Yeah.
I went into it, I was like, I'm gonna ignore the critics. I'm going to go into it with an open mind. I disliked it more than I liked it. For me, it was just so disjointed, the characters couldn't save it for me. And like the first third, Guardians of the Galaxy. Second third, the last Hunger Games movie, when they're just walking around in the Capitol. Also 13 hours, Michael Bay. Like, so much soul.
No, that's a good way to put it. The last Hunger Games.
And then the last is just Zack Snyder Rain. So to me, I was into it, and then it lost it for me, and I couldn't save it. Like there wasn't a saving grace in the end to make it worth my while. Like perfect comparison is Star Trek Beyond, when they're attacking and you just hear that song coming. Have you guys seen that yet?
Yeah.
When they're using that
It was weird,
BC
but-
Boys. It was stupid.
It was weird, but
Shit insane. But oh my god,
that's classical
I have
music.
I
mixed
was having
feelings on
so
that.
much fun in that scene.
Yeah.
That's an action scene I wanted in this. I wanted it just to be batshit insane, just throw on your AC/DC, throw on your Queen, and just go for it. I didn't want like the
Well,
jump.
they had a mix of both those things.
Yeah,
So.
Not in a good way.
Right.
It was so
And
disjointed.
it was.
when
They
it's
did throw a lot of songs.
when it's
did, not in a good
badass,
way.
when it's badass and it's crazy, that's the best. I
Yeah.
wish it was all the way through.
Yeah.
But that is when it's the strongest. I think. I think that's what people want to see the most.
It
Yeah.
felt so just disjointed, and like that they were going for so many different like vibes that like they didn't just mesh well.
And that
in my
had to have been the
opinion. Like,
studio. The studio.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the original version was the last 40 minutes throughout. Serious, rain, Zack Snyder vibe. And then Warner Brothers went in, oh crap, no one likes Batman v Superman. Let's add all these transitions and crazy action sequences, and let's just
Look at all
pink,
these
so much
colors.
pink, all the pink.
But just in the first 10 minutes,
Just the first
and then we'll
10
never go back.
Yeah, for some reason. And so like, if there were lots of things they could have done to make it better throughout, and I think they just failed.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty much mirror most of your guys' thoughts the same way. I mean, but I liked it more than I disliked it. I think the characters did carry me throughout, and just brought me just enough to like it. So, would we recommend it? Can we say we've never really done that
Yeah,
before?
I would say
I would
go
recommend
watch
it.
it in theaters.
I would say yes. process. I think it's a movie you have to go and judge for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
I-
form your own opinion. Don't
Definitely.
just like read reviews online. Go see it for yourself.
I
Like,
think people, like I said, I think they're going to, I think everyone's going to like that first 20 minutes. Even the critics that hate this movie, it's like the first 20, 40 minutes are pretty solid, like they're really good. Yeah, like I said, it's just, I think everyone's going to have a different variation of will that last them, will that sustain them. And yeah, I think it's just going to be different for every person. How much can you turn your brain off? Which is not an insult. I love turning my brain off for a movie.
sometimes you just want to have some fun. in a
Yeah,
movie.
and it's how much fun is in this that'll carry you through.
There are some really genuinely fun, funny moments that are really good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's, I think that's
I just wish it was like the whole thing.
the whole thing.
Like,
Yeah, I wish it was the whole thing.
Okay, pick of the week, Aiyanna, take it away.
Oh, I brought so much stuff, guys. Rebirth, this week, we've got Harley and Suicide Squad just came out this week. Let us know in the comments down below if you're reading any of the Rebirth stuff that's been coming out, and if you went ahead and picked up Harley or Suicide Squad. If you liked Harley in the movie, I think they did her justice personally, and I think this comic goes right along that same vibe of her. It's her and Poison Ivy at the beginning, and also there might be some zombies. What? So go check that out.
But are they Bubble Ash zombies?
They're not Bubble Ash zombies. No, they're
So-
alien meat
so they're people.
zombies.
Because they're
What
not
does
people
that mean?
anymore.
Go read it. I don't know. And then Suicide Squad, if you were like me and loved Amanda Waller, who is amazing, go check out this issue because she's just being her awesome, amazing, badass self in this as well. And there might be a meta bomb that they have to do, so it lines up very well with the movie. I would say it's like kind of a similar tone with Amanda Waller being badass. Badass. So yeah.
I usually do that all day.
What have I done?
Okay. Well, social media for everybody. Doug, you have a public Facebook page, correct?
I do.
I'm sure most of you
just
see
here.
this
I'm sure
already
you've
watched.
seen me do the pointing thing. I don't know where you put it. I'm sure it's just there. Go there.
Last time I did put, I was like, fine.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Okay.
I'll make it
Beth.
easy for you.
Yeah, right there. Boom.
Yeah,
Beth.
I am at Beth Elderkin on Twitter. You can also subscribe to my channel Awesome Show Shark Jumping at youtube.com/sharkjumpingshow. And you can also read my opinion on comic book movies and lots of stuff at IO9. I am their weekend editor, so on Saturdays and Sundays you can read all my thoughts. I have lots of opinions about Jared Leto.
Holly?
That's me. Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, here. Same place as always.
All right, cool. I'm on Twitter at awesome_Walter. Been talking a lot about this, so go ahead and follow me, and we'll talk about Suicide Squad. Also talk a lot about the Power Rangers movie, so if you're interested in my thoughts about that, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Okay, also remember to like the Facebook page, like I said, facebook.com/awesomecomicshow. I think this week we're gonna, since Porter's not on the panel, he's gonna do his thoughts on Suicide Squad for the Facebook exclusive. So if you wanna see Brian Porter's thoughts, go ahead and check out this week's
I'm very
Facebook
curious
video.
what he thought of this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you go ahead and like the
check it
Facebook
out.
page.
This Thursday on Facebook.
She is. Okay, so until next week, everybody, these guys are fantastic. I'm Walter Benasiak, and we'll see you next week on the next page.